Hi, I'm Caleb Giddings from Gun Nuts Media, and today we're going to be doing the final review of the Sig Sauer Nightmare Fastback 1911 in 357 Sig. We'll start today's video with a brief review of the scoring system that we use. All guns start with a potential score of 100 points. You get 100 points if nothing bad happens to the gun during the course of 2,000 rounds. So far, only one gun that we've tested, that I personally have tested, I should say, has hit that perfect score, and that was the magical Rock Island Armory 1911 and 9mm. How a gun loses points is pretty straightforward. A failure to function in the normal fashion, a failure to complete the normal cycle of operations, such as a failure to feed, failure to eject, etc., a double feed, that's 1 point off. A issue that can be corrected at the armorer level or by the end user, that's 5 points off. Failing the 10-8 performance function test, that's 10 points off. And lastly, a major parts breakage before 2,000 rounds is 50 points off. Now that you understand the scoring system, let's talk about the Sig Sauer 1911 Nightmare Fastback 1911. I just said 1911 twice. Sig Sauer, alright, let's talk about this gun by its name first. Sig Sauer brand Nightmare Fastback 1911, and this one's chambered in 357 Sig. I don't know why they call it Nightmare, because the gun's not ugly. It's actually quite an attractive firearm. I like the stainless accents on the slide release and the safety and the grip safety. It's a very attractive gun. Let's talk though about its score. After some deliberation, this gun has reached a final score of 82 out of 100. Perfectly respectable, really good score. The issues that led to that 82 are pretty simple. So first issue is during the testing, the rear sight came completely out of the dovetail. The set screw that holds the rear sight in place, which you can see right there, had not been tightened down all the way, so under the course of regular firing, it backed out. I didn't notice until the rear sight was falling out. So that's 5 points off because it's easily fixed by the end user. Just push the rear sight back in, tighten the screw down, problem solved, problem staying solved. That does create a little bit of paranoia in my head, so that every time I go out and shoot this, I'm like twerking on the rear sight screw just to make sure it stays in place. So that would be 5 points. That would give us a 95. The other 7 points come from two things. One, there were 3 failures to function. So I had 3 failures to feed during the course of the test, and it was all the same thing, where the round would just kind of go like that into the feed ramp. So just clunk straight into the feed ramp, no feed, the gun doesn't work, and it was always fixed by just aggressively tapping the bottom of the mag well. So 3 points off. That takes us down to 92. Where do the other 5 points come from? Well, if you've been following the test, you saw that I had a consistent issue with double feeds in the gun with one brand of ammunition. And that was Winchester white box ammo, and it would consistently double feed in the pistol. I determined through trial and error with several different brands of ammunition that this was due to the Winchester white box cartridges, the FMJs, having a slightly shorter overall length than the ammunition that would feed 100% reliably. I had numerous double feeds to the point where I stopped keeping track of them, and getting through the volume of rounds that I had in Winchester was a little bit frustrating. But I'm only docking the gun 5 points. I'm not docking it for each individual double feed, because the double feeds were largely the fault of the ammunition. Instead, I'm docking it 5 points essentially for not being able to feed a common training ammo right out of the box. I feel like a gun like this, when the end user goes and buys it and pays over $1,000 for it at retail, you should be able to load it with whatever brand of quality FMJ or jacketed hollow point ammunition and have the expectation that it's going to work. If it doesn't, it's not necessarily a huge problem with the gun. You can avoid using that type of ammunition. And honestly, if it had been some sort of weird, oddball manufacturer that not a lot of people buy, I probably wouldn't have docked it. But it's Winchester. Winchester white box is everywhere. It, along with Federal American Eagle, are the 2 most common types of range ammunition on the market. So if your gun doesn't feed Winchester white box, that's kind of a problem. That's why I'm taking away 5 points for it. That still, however, leaves this gun with a very respectable score of 87. And I think when you get down to it, 87 is a good score for this gun. Let me talk now about the things that I like about it. First off, in 357 Sig, an all-steel 5-inch 1911 with Sig's squared-off 1911 profile slide is actually quite pleasant to shoot. Yes, there's recoil. Yes, it's loud. It's a 357 Sig. Deal with it. I really actually enjoyed shooting this gun. Second thing I really liked about it is unbelievably accurate. This is so far the most accurate 1911 that we've tested out of the box that's completed the 2,000 round test protocol, and it's jeez, is it accurate. This gun will shoot under an inch at 25 yards with match ammo all day long, all day strong. Phenomenally accurate, pleasant to shoot. Just honestly, like, I know I sound a little bit like a fanboy, but this so far is my favorite of the 1911s that I've tested because it's a little bit weird. Let's see, what else do I like? I really enjoy the cosmetic features. like I mentioned, I like the stainless steel accents on the gun. I think they're quite pleasant to look at. They make the gun very eye-catching. I like the fastback feature, which is commonly referred to as a bobtail. It makes the gun fit in the hand quite nice, and it actually does reduce the signature of the gun under clothing for concealed carry. Let's see, it's accurate. It is extremely reliable, asterisk, when used with Hornady Critical Duty or Sig Sauer Elite Performance ammunition. No issues with either of those brands of ammunition, and if I were to keep carrying this gun as my EDC, I would just keep feeding it the Hornady because it friggin' works. That would be what I would do. Couple of features I don't like about it. So it has night sights on it, which are good. I like that it comes with night sights because it is intended as a carry gun, and I think all carry guns should have night sights. That being said, they're 3-dot night sights, which I hate because I hate all 3-dot sights because all 3-dot sight setups are pretty much crap. So don't really like that. The other thing that I don't like, because I've been carrying this gun every day for a couple of months now, this gun weighs a ton, all right? It's actually heavier than other full-size 1911s because it's got this extra meat up here in the slide that most 1911s don't have. Does that make the gun more pleasant to shoot using full-power 357 Sig duty ammo? It does. Does it make the gun kind of suck to carry for 12 hours a day? It also does, yeah. I'm not going to lie, when I finished this test up and I put on a lightweight Commander again after carrying this gun forever, it felt like I was carrying a feather. I really don't have anything bad to say about the Sig Sauer Nightmare Fastback 1911 and 357 Sig. Again, the double feed issue was probably the biggest thing that we encountered, and that wasn't really that big an issue. It's sort of a situation of, doctor, it hurts when I do this. Well, stop doing that. So I just won't feed this gun Winchester White Box, and it will solve all of those problems. Otherwise, I really like this gun. I really enjoyed shooting it. It's one of those guns that I actually looked forward to going to the range to do tests with because it was so accurate, because it was so much fun to shoot, and yeah, it is a bit of an attention getter on the range when you pull out a 1911 and it shoots a fireball out the front and that long. People sort of look around and see what's going on. I really like it. I think 87 out of 100 is a pretty fair score for this gun. I wish it had done better. I wish it hadn't had those double feed issues. I would recommend this gun to somebody looking for a 1911, especially in a weird platform. Yes, it does have the external extractor, which it really worked. If you watch any of our videos of testing with this gun, you see the empty cases just go whee, just zinging out of the gun, always in the same direction, always in the same spot, extremely reliably in terms of the actual extraction portion of the event. None of the failures that I had were failures to extract. Empty cases always came out of this gun. If you have any questions about this review, if you'd like to leave a comment, please do so in the comment section underneath it. If you have questions about the Sig Sauer line of 1911s, this is the second one I've tested pretty thoroughly, and it has performed very well. I really do like them. I think they're great guns, and would probably be my go-to recommendation for someone looking for to spend about $1,000 on a 1911 if they didn't want a Springfield. Questions, comments, concerns? Leave them in the comment below. I'm Caleb Giddings. Thanks for watching.